and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
Colleen Hudson. She is the past executive director of the Dude Ranch Association. And we figured we'd chat a little bit and try to give you a little bit of dreaming about dude ranches. So since we're still all practicing that social distancing, we need all that wellness and all that jazz, figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of give us a little bit of an opportunity to talk about all of the different options that we have while staying local. So you can still do that social distancing. You don't need to get on a plane. Easy to get to do a drive. There are lots of them, obviously, west of the Mississippi, but there are some locations east of the Mississippi. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about what to expect and all that kind of stuff. And Colleen has been doing this now for 19 years.
Yep.
So she is definitely an expert. All the bookings as normal would go through me. If you find something that you like, I can totally set you up with it. So with that, I'm going to give the floor over to Colleen so she can kind of entice us about ranches.
All right. Well, gosh, I love your enthusiasm. It's just great. It's catching.
Good.
I'm Colleen Hudson, and as Lulu said, I've been the executive director for the National Dude Ranchers Association for 19 years. So I've visited well over 150 ranches in my stint there. So
that's a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us, what kind of experiences can you have at a dude ranch?
You can just about have anything you want. You can have luxurious experiences where you just are you getting feedback, or is that just me?
I don't have any feedback on my end.
Okay, great. So you can have this. You can be luxurious. You can be eating, gourmet food. You can be staying in gourmet rooms. I mean, really up class rooms. Or you can have a little more rustic if you want. You can, sit by the pool. You can do a spa treatment, or you can actually go out and work with the livestock, such as moving cattle, fixing fence. So there's just so many options that you can do while on a dude ranch. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Some ranches are really geared toward family travel. So the kiddos, they'll have kids programs, so you can have something for the kids to do the whole time you're there. You can interact with them as much as you want. You can go on family rides. They can go do rides. They can do a camp out while you have a 5-course meal back at the ranch. The ranches that usually cater more to the kids programs are either the traditional dude ranch or the resort ranches. Working ranches such as like the Hideout Ranch in Wyoming, you do a lot of riding. You're in the saddle a lot. So those kind of ranches, you kind of cater to the older, probably 14 and above. Great for couples, great for, girlfriend getaways. Well, all the ranches are great for that. So it just kind of, again, depends on exactly what you're looking for. I mean, ranches, what's great about them is they're intimate enough that they can cater to your needs and your wants. For the most part, ranches will take anywhere from 40 to 60 guests for the most part, and 60 would be a larger ranch for sure. And we have ranches that only take 8 people. So if you want to social distance, you can do that at a dude ranch. If you got 40 people at 100 or 200 acres, you could go all day without seeing anybody but your wrangler. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. So that is.
So I was showing some of your pictures as you were chatting.
Okay.
And so, it give guys, here's an experience of what you would have. Colleen was kind enough to share some of these with us so that we have a good idea of what, all the different nature pieces of the puzzle, right? Because that's important.
Right.
So
yeah, these are very nature-based trips. I mean, you're in the nature, you're living in nature. So it's a great educational piece for your kids. While you're on the ranch, they're going to teach them some life skills about how it is to work on a ranch, what to expect when you're on a ranch. So the kids get out in nature and not be,
glued to internet.
Yeah. You lose the internet, and you don't have to watch them 24/7. They can just be kids. They can actually go out and wade the creek, run around the fields. They can do whatever they need to do to be kids. Lots of kids don't get to do that anymore.
And that's awesome. Yeah, because I come from the generation X, so we were called latchkey kids, so we're kind of used to this fending on our own kind of stuff. But there's different, obviously every generation has their own kind of setup, and so this is a great opportunity for those that didn't learn how to do some of those things on their own. Here's a great option. And now that we're, the classroom is now home because of everything that's going on.
Right.
And, everybody's kind of closing down for whether it's a month or for the rest of the school year. It also gives you an opportunity to bring the kids to a life classroom.
Right.
So
absolutely. And the traveling, if you get in your car and you drive cross country, what a great opportunity to teach the kids.
Absolutely. A lot of American history to learn, and you're learning it firsthand. So it's not just learning it from the textbook in social studies class where we're all kind of going, really, teacher reward. Okay. So, and as much as I love history, I really love history, learning it when I went to visit somewhere. Right. So for me, that was my learning point, right? So I kind of want to just put that out there. Again, we have a lot of parents who are doing this. We also have a large LGBTQ community that follows us. So talk a little bit about how the ranches are friendly towards them.
Absolutely. I mean, ranches are they're friendly toward everybody. It's Western hospitality at its best. I mean, they don't see any difference in anybody. You're a guest, you're going to be treated the same way as any other guest. They're going to welcome you. They're going to make you feel welcome. Again, because it's such an intimate setting, you're going to become friends with everybody that's there. If that's how if you so choose. It's hard not to, because if you spend a week with 40 people, you're going to get to know everybody, which is one of the really special things about these ranches. So
and talk about a little bit about how meal settings and things like that are done. I know on a trip, you sometimes have specific times, or they have my time or things like that. How are meals done at the Dude Ranch? Is it ever a set time?
Yeah, they're done at certain times. Like they usually give you a couple hours in the morning to have breakfast, and you can usually, sometimes it's family style. You sit at a table with your family or a group of people, and you share your food. Some you order off a menu. Dinners are usually, it depends on what ranch you're at, but you can sit at a table of just your family, or you can intermingle with other families. And most of it is just served. You maybe have 2 or 3 choices, and then it's served family style is how it's served. So or many of them have cookouts. So you'll do a morning ride, you'll eat breakfast out on the trail, you'll do a barbecue at night, you'll have Cowboys Singalong. It's just.
What is a Cowboy Singalong? That sounds like so much fun.
Cowboy Singalong is a real cute cowboy with a guitar. Around a campfire.
So it's all campfire stuff. It's all the stuff that we see in the movies. And then for those people like me who's more city folk than we are, all this kind of nature, do you need to bring a specific outfit? You need to go and buy those cowboy boots and all of that? How do you dress?
Yeah, well, it's really casual. It's jeans. You do need to ride with a pair of boots. Most ranches will have a stockpile of boots that you can just use while you're there, so you don't have to go out and make that purchase if you don't want to.
Okay.
But they will have you ride with a hard sole shoe with a heel, just for your safety. Jeans, lots of sunscreen because it's usually really nice, and a hat. They'll, cowboy hat with the big brim, kind of, shades you from the sun. They'll supply the stampede string that goes on so your hat doesn't blow off when you're trotting down the trail.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's casual country dressing, so just wear your comfortable stuff. Probably not a lot of high heel shoes needed.
Hey, that works for me, because I think I stopped wearing heels 7 years ago. So, definitely awesome. So let's talk. You talked a little bit about wellness in terms of you can have spa treatments where if the family is going, the kids can kind of do their own thing, and then mom and dad can have some time alone and stuff like that. But let's talk about the other types of wellness that are available on property. So
Sure.
So when you're intermingling with the animals and things like that, what have you seen people's social wellness and self-wellness? Because wellness is, it's mind, body, spirit. So
Right.
so what have you seen evolve from that?
Well, one of the really great things that I've seen and I've witnessed several times is the confidence that people build being around horses, being around other animals that they are. I mean, these are big animals.
Right.
They're well-trained animals, and they're animals. They're smart, and there's a connection between people and horses. And once you make that connection, which you always do if you're at a dude ranch, the wranglers make sure that you make that connection. Your self-confidence just soars. So that is an awesome. Now, physically, just by nature where they're at. I mean, if you spend a week at a dude ranch, the amount of walking you have to do to get to the lodge and back to your cabin and up on the hill, and and they have all sorts of stuff. I mean, lots of ranches now. They do yoga. They bring in a yoga instructor in the morning. You can do mountain biking. You can do hiking. If you're in the winter, you can do skiing. You can do, there's riding a horse is a lot of physical activity.
Yeah.
So, it's meant to be a healthy kind of vacation. There is you can sit around in the evening, have your cocktail and reminisce about what happened throughout the day. But most generally, you're going to be pretty tired. So, because you're just active. That's, you're out nature, moving all the time.
And that's awesome. And so what time of the day does when you're at the dude ranch, what time, does it usually start at dawn? Do you start much earlier? Guide me in that.
Yeah, usually, they usually start having breakfast around 7 in the morning, probably maybe 7 to 8. And if you're going to do a breakfast ride, you might have to get on the horse by 7. So they're early,
Okay.
But then you'll have, they'll do morning rides, they'll do afternoon rides, they'll do all day rides, they'll do half day rides. So if you don't want to do an all day ride, do a morning ride, spend your afternoon sitting by the pool or going on a mountain bike ride or whatever it is you want to do. Go fishing,
You can do a lot of hiking as well, I presume, on the properties. On average, how big are the dude ranches, in terms of acreage?
Acreage, that varies by quite. I mean, you can have a ranch that has 32 acres, but it's surrounded by the national forest. So you have access to all of that. I mean, you have miles and miles and miles and miles.
That's awesome.
And most ranchers will have, if you're going to stay fairly within, they have trails that you can go hike on your own, but a lot of them will have guides to take you out on a hike, so where the good spots are and all of that. Yeah.
So great to do independent stuff as well as guided stuff. So that's awesome. And all of that is pretty much included in price points when you are booking it. So it becomes somewhat of an all-inclusive trip, minus the alcohol, because I'm sure that the alcohol is obviously on your own. But in terms of activities and just your regular meals, all that's pretty much one package deal.
Yep.
So that also helps. So one of the things that I wanted to show everybody is I've got a little book here, and this is all about ranch vacation. And Jean puts out a book that has ranches throughout the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Argentina. I'm going to lift that up a little bit more so you guys can see it.
Yep, he's great. Gina has been doing this a long, long time.
Yeah, and so these are kind of great opportunities where you can take a look, you can see what kind of dude ranch would be a good fit for you. Or again, I'm here for you to kind of weed all of the information out. What what will be good for your family or you and whoever you're traveling with. So then that way I can help you decipher all of that. I can help you do all the bookings. And if it's a road trip, help you plan that out accordingly and all of that. So certainly kind of keep all those moving pieces, going. And of course, if there's any additional activities or if there's learning for the kids that we want to include in that, we can create that itinerary as well.
Right.
So with that,
I want to kind of emphasize is the national organization, the Dude Ranchers Association. It's not a pay-to-play association, so they actually have to qualify to be a member of the association. So someone goes and inspects them at least once every 5 years to make sure they're up to speed on everything. Same with the There's 10 ranches out there. It's under the Spur Alliance or bestduderanches.com. Those two are all vetted ranches with a DRA membership. So be sure and look for those because
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is truly awesome. So again, here's another opportunity where we can find you really good vetted ones, so that you're not just kind of showing up and going, okay, is this really a good dude ranch? Like, a lot of us are city folk, so we're not used to kind of knowing what to expect. So it's great when something is vetted for us. And with me being part of the Family Travel Association, and the Dude Ranch Association as well, it's really great because I get to really learn from them, and that's how I can help vet for you. So hopefully once this lift is over, I'm going to start traveling, maybe go to a few of them as well. So we'll go live and we'll show them off a little bit. So Colleen, thank you so much for taking the few minutes of your time today to kind of, talk to everybody, show it a little bit with your pictures on what to expect. And I'm really excited. Just one thing before you go, the Dude Ranches are starting to open up, so to speak, like season is starting to come in. But with everything that's going on with COVID-19, when do you think that the Dude Ranches may start really to open?
Probably around end of May, beginning of June. That's when most of the northern ranches open. Right now, there are some southern ranches that are still open. They have not closed down yet, and hopefully, this whole thing will pass at some point.
Of course.
So we can all get back to traveling, so we're not going nuts.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah.
I really hope, because I'm not used to being home.
Yeah. You still have plenty of time to book our vacation. June, July, and August, September, those are the hot months for the northern ranches. So, and September is just beautiful out west. So.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate all of the insight. And guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to send me in a message and I will get them answered to you. Thanks again, everybody. And thank you, Colleen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.